Hi again guys, and welcome to another speed build for Forza Horizon 3. And before we get into the tune itself, as always, if you do want this tune and don't really care about doing it yourself, maybe you just want to slap it straight on the car and get into driving it, you can do that by checking out this tune on my storefront. You can use the keywords in the video description down below to find this tune along with all of my other tunes, and I have done plenty of them, to just fit this straight onto your car. And of course that is appreciated. But if you prefer to do it yourself, of course this is the video for you. And this particular vehicle that we're tuning is of course the Ferrari 488 GTB. Now, as far as the upgrades, first of all, on this particular vehicle, I would as always recommend all-wheel drive. And basically on this game I would always recommend all-wheel drive. Now, as far as the engine swap, I would recommend the 6-litre V12 conversion because it is more powerful than the standard engine. As I said, of course, all-wheel drive, and I would also recommend, pretty obviously, the twin turbo, then just for everything else that improves the car. I would not recommend the front or rear wing. In fact, I would never recommend the front or rear wing for speed builds. And then for the tune setup, which is of course the way to unlock the potential of the car, as you can see, it's a very rapid vehicle. 1.7 seconds to 60, 3.4 to 100, which is very rapid for a street car, and a top speed of 268 miles per hour. Now, as far as the gearing, I would recommend a final drive of 3.4. Then, as we often do, I've just rounded off the rest to 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.15, 0.95, and 0.78. Then for the rest, again, as we often do, I've left it very open to interpretation. You can change it around to your personal needs, what you prefer for the car. Personally, I like, especially with an all-wheel drive vehicle, to have everything fairly neutral, because the all-wheel drive, more often than not, just takes care of itself. So we've got neutral camber, neutral toe. I've opted for 6 degrees of caster, anti-roll I've rounded off to 25 front and rear, springs to 135 and 230, that should actually be exactly on 135, and also the ride height I've got 11.5 on the front, 11.7 on the rear. So it looks as though it would have its nose in the air, but that's not really the case. You've just evened it off, basically. As far as the dampers, we've rounded those off to 11, 16, 5 and 7. There is no aero on this car to adjust, and as far as the diff, in particular of course with all-wheel drive, I've opted for 100% on acceleration, 0 on deceleration, and I would recommend a centre split of 83%. So that's it overall for the build, and as always I don't take these cars out to actually drive them in these videos because it's all about the tune, not about actually driving them. So if you do opt to use this build either from my storefront or using this video, obviously I hope either way you find it fun, and it's definitely a highly competitive vehicle. But if you'd like to keep up with other tunes like this for Horizon, Forza 6 and various other games, obviously you can do that by hitting subscribe down below, or by checking out tunes which I've already done for Forza games in the playlist at the end of this video. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.